So I'm going to try to explain all of these theories in MS Paint here. First off, we have Wilkerson. This is suggested to be the name of the family in the show, as displayed on Francis's badge in the pilot episode, but it's still up for debate by everybody because Reese used a fake name joining the military. Francis' ID badge in the final episode says a different last name, so it could or could not be the last name of the family. Hal being Walter White, fans have speculated that because Hal and Walter White are both played by Bryan Cranston, that either after the events of Breaking Bad, instead of dying, Walter White took on a new identity of Hal and created a new family and identity for himself after the show. Dewey being autistic, it kind of explains itself. He has a lot of quirks and traits of somebody who struggles with autism. He's often seen talking with animals and imaginary friends and having intense attention to detail. Scrubs. There's theories that Malcolm in the Middle and Scrubs are within the same universe because there are scenes from Malcolm where the same set is used and as the TV, like the series Scrubs, and there's also actresses that are similar that play nurses, and there's a little bit of overlap there. Malcolm being Walter White is a little more concise of an explanation than Hal being Walter White, because Malcolm has a history in chemistry, he's smart, and he would grow up to look like his father, therefore Malcolm's character would grow up to look like Bryan Cranston in this theory. Eric is gay. It is possible that gay dads might want to adopt a gay kid from a family that disowned him, but it is also seen that Eric is interested in women as well, from Mardi Gras and the pornographic magazines underneath his bed. Viktor is, sorry about my pronunciation, Slobodan Milošević. Milošević was the president of Yugoslavia until 2000, when the pilot episode for Malcolm in the Middle aired. So fans have thought that his resignation as president was so he could be on the show. Commandant Spangler's lost leg. Honestly, I have no idea about this one. I don't think he ever lost a leg in the show. I know he lost both of his hands the last time you see him. I couldn't explain that one to you. Familial Schizophrenia. That's pretty self-explanatory. Could be that the family is all crazy and that none of these strange antics actually happen. As an afterthought, editor's note, I forgot to mention about the familial schizophrenia. Malcolm is the entire time talking to a camera crew that nobody else can see, and it seems to be all in his head. So, yeah. Alaskan Dollars. In the episode where Francis is seen fleeing to Alaska, he trades all of his money to a stranger for Alaskan dollars. The theory behind this is that Alaskan dollars are not fake and they're actually real, or an innuendo for something else, because Francis runs off screen to go catch the person who, quote, scammed him, supposedly. The third option, this is in reference to the third option of Season 6, Episode 12, where Hal has to decide whether he pulls the plug on Edelman, who is in a coma. The third option, besides pulling the plug or continuing life support, has been speculated that Hal found a different option involving something from Radio Shack and a hat, as he says in the explain away in the final scene of that episode. It could be that he found everything he needed except for Radio Shack except for the hat. So using headphones and like a sort of a VR mounted to a hat, explaining the Radio Shack and the hat. He played things such as bird noises or bird videos because Edelman was known to be a bird lover, and instead of pulling the plug or continuing life support, he actually woke up Edelman from his coma, being the third option. Craig used to date Lois. Craig's infatuation with Lois could be attributed to the fact that he never got over his past relationship with her. It also would explain why Lois is sort of standoffish but also sort of friendly towards him, because he is an ex of hers. Couldn't tell you about this one. I don't know anything about the Brothers of the Apocalypse. Hal's Bryan Cranston's twin brother, pretty self-explanatory. They're similar, but Hal and Bryan Cranston are two very, very different acting people. Richie's trash can fire, shown in one of the episodes. What mysterious documents is he burning in that trash can fire? Who knows? Otto being an SS officer. It explains a lot of the parallels between his night terrors, as well as him wanting to start a new life for himself. And creating the Dude Ranch. Dabney is Gretchen's kidnapped son. Not only do they look similar, but Dabney's mother is often seen as very protective of him, and some could argue that it's just so he doesn't get hurt, but others could argue that it's so that people do not recognize Dabney as not her legitimate son, and is scared of him being taken from her. Lois killing her father. In the episode last scene, Victor lights off a grenade in the house and throws it in the fridge, and after this event happens and their fridge blows up, I'm pretty sure that Lois makes some snide comment about, "Oh, I'm going to kill that man," and then you never see him again. So Lois could have potentially killed her father. Frankie Muniz brain transplant. This will explain why Frankie Muniz does not remember any of the events of Malcolm in the Middle, but who has his brain now is the real question. Stevie faked his disability. I mean, I think that one's just a meme. I mean, he could have not been faking the whole time. He did the street luge. He did the robotic leg thing. Who knows? Bernard suffocated to death. I hate to say it, but it's possible. I mean, he was stuffed full of food and stuff. Hal being trapped in hell with the family that he murdered. This is probably referencing Hal saying he doesn't like murder, specifically in one episode. He doesn't like horror movies because it reminds him of the terrible murders that he committed, potentially in the house that they live, because it is confirmed that the house that they lived in was a site for a murder, as seen in the Halloween episode where Malcolm is sick and Hal is freaking out. Egg being the ghost of Lois is miscarried firstborn. He's only seen in one episode. The only other person to acknowledge his presence is Dewey, who has had a lot of imaginary friends, so it is possible. Francis and Eric being complicit in 9/11. The episode in which Francis and Eric escape to Alaska aired in November of 2001, shortly after the events of 9/11, so them leaving military school could be taken as them fleeing the scene, and then him referencing a prank that he pulled of launching a lawnmower off a roof could be a reference to the Twin Towers or something of that nature. The missing box set. So the North American box set of Malcolm in the Middle was released about a month into 2009, before it was wiped from existence. You can't buy it anywhere, and you can't find it. Rumors say that the original cast commentary exposed numerous serious crimes that took place on set, sort of cryptic, and them hiding it under wraps because nobody actually knows what happened to it. They Were Giants is a reference to a meme about the writers of the Malcolm in the Middle theme song and the family being giants the whole time, or something of that nature. And then this one is obviously fake because nobody beats Sub-Zero. That's just ridiculous.